Hey everyone, it's Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds, and it's been a minute. I know. It's the same line I use all the time, but you know, life happens and stuff. But we're back, and it's timely because we are looking at the new Valiverse stuff for Series 6. And what we're going to be starting with here is the new deluxe figure for Series 6, the latest addition to the Garrison. We have Valiverse's Malice. So this was first available at DFW, the G.I. Joe show, in 2026. That happened just a couple weeks ago at the time of this recording. But people are starting to get theirs out. Valiverse started to ship theirs. They had to wait till at least the 8th to get it out to people, but I know shipments are going left and right. I got mine in, and I'm super excited to get hold of this guy. So let's just get right into it. Obviously, we'll look at packaging real quick, but we want to get to the fun part about this, which is the figure himself. Nice wide plastic, showing off pretty much 99% of the stuff that you want to see about this figure. Helmet, backpack, weapons galore. He is a heavy ordnance dude. On the side, we're going to get this nice image here of Malice, and it is going to be the same on the other side here. And on the back, we of course have these product shots from Sean Kenway, visual approach photos. What can you say? I mean, we saw these product shots when Malice was first introduced. They're awesome looking, super cool, love it. We are 3 action points here, and then here is Malice's combat profile if you want to pause and check it out. Okay, that is what we say is that. As you see here, this is unopened, so we got a plastic strap across the torso here. But let's get Malice out and check him out. And here we have Isaiah out of his packaging, and first impressions is that this is a really interesting mix of the gritty real-worldness that Val has been putting together with Action Force, as well as just a little bit of over the top. My analogy always is that, you know, Valiverse is kind of like that crazy action movie world from like the 80s where like everything's a little bit over the top and nuts under the guise of super seriousness. But Isaiah is really neat looking. He's in that black and maroon and gray motif that we've gotten with the Garrison. So let's go ahead and zoom in and get a closer look. So zooming in, we're going to start here at the top at this new head sculpt that we have from Bobby, showing Isaiah in this very menacing stare down look that he has here. This is kind of going back a little bit to form with what I feel some of the sculpt work has been in the past, and where it's kind of gone off a little. And that is in regards to like just the look and aesthetic of this one is very good in my opinion. As we look at it from the profile here, just a nice look to him. It's not super smooth. You can see like there is some lines there around his cheekbones, and then again across his forehead, which we'll see a little bit easier here in a second. But he's definitely got some creases across his forehead, and like I said, the eye is really good. The beard is really nicely done. Just stopping off here before going all the way back up to where to his ears. But yeah, nice looking head sculpt in my opinion. Then of course the biggest highlight is this new hair sculpt in this new piece here. You can see he's definitely got some dreads going. And then we also have these little metal accessory pieces, decorative pieces into his hair. I'm not sure what the actual term is. I'm not going to lie and try to make it up and then be wrong. So, but it's really nice. And again, it goes all the way back to the back of his head here. Like I said, it's a little over the top, but not in like a bad way. Very cool. Now, we're going to show this later on, obviously, when we go into the accessories, but if you don't want him to rock the hair, you can remove it. This is a separate piece. As you can see here, it's just got this neat little key feature in the head. There we go. All right. So this is the first time we had this, so don't try to put it on other characters and stuff. It won't work. But if you want to rock him bald, you can. And we definitely will when we start getting to the accessory portion of things. But again, that look is really good. And like I said before, with the creases on his head, looks really nice. Now, photographers and display people, if you're going to do this without the hair, obviously, like I said, it was keyed. So we have a hole here on the top of his head, as well as this key on the back to allow it to have a snug fit. So if you are upset about that, just learn to pose your figure so you can't really see it, or rock the helmet, or leave it on his head. You choose. Moving down to the torso, we see that Malice has this vest that we saw with Bone Collector 2.0. Only, like I said, it's in this maroon black, and it's not like gray per se. It's kind of like a metallically green sheen to it. It's kind of interesting, to say the least. It's like a greenish gunmetal, and I know my lights aren't doing it justice, but trust me on it, it's definitely not just a flat color here. So again, the accents of that is going across the shoulders. We got the straps all along here. We've got our shoulder pauldrons with the Garrison emblem on both sides. Again, those are floating pieces, so you can take those off if you wish. There's the back of the vest. All right, there's where you pull it off. You can do that later on here. You can see underneath. Peg in the back for the backpack. So moving down, we also saw these forearm guards on Bone Collector 2.0 as well. But like I said, it's that sheen to it here that really makes it pop. And we got nice texture on there with some scratches and dents and everything else, because this guy, again, is the frontline heavy weapon specialist, so he's not going to go out there in a pristine armor, to say the least. So that's most of the stuff that we've seen before. Now we get down to the lower torso. Again, we got our hip section here, but now we have these new sculpted legs, and these are pretty rad looking. Again, this guy is he's not sneaking around because of all this armor and stuff on him, but you can see like this really nice texture sculpted into the armor sections here. We've got these big old kneecap metal pieces here, and down to the thick boots. Again, all armored up down to his new sculpted feet. So looking nice. Again, missed opportunity there, like to kind of match that up, but I understand it's a movable joint. So, and then we got our thigh holsters here for our weapons. Once we get to it, we got a wristwatch on this side here. Get in focus. There you go. Got a wristwatch on that arm, and then we have our little rope bracelet or something on this side here. That's in a kind of muted greenish brown look there. So, and we got black for the knuckle busters here on his arm, on his hands. All right, and you can see the gloves only go up to mid finger, and then he's got painted fingers on the end of his hands. So that's Malice overall. So let's go ahead and roll right into the accessories. All right, let's get into the accessories here with Malice. He's here in the Garrison's many little armory, play areas, whatever you want to call it. Just go with it with me, all right? So let's go through the stuff that we know commonly. We got our Series 6 foot peg stand, 6 pegs, slot in the back for the combat profile. You know it, you love it. You've had tons of these. They're probably in a bin somewhere. Moving on. Next is our hands. We've got our trigger finger hands. We're going to have a pair of fists, so I'm just going to show you one just because you know what it looks like. All right, nice. And of course we have our item holding hands. Again, nice detail across the gloves there, knuckle dusters in black. Fingers are painted, we even got fingernails. And then of course, rounding it out would be our cupping hands, open hands, whatever you want to call them, hands, they're hands. Moving on, now we get into the fun stuff, weapons, right? Let's start with the biggest and go down from there. So we have, first and foremost, our Gustaf recoilless rifle. We saw this first in Weapons Pack November. So those who didn't get a chance to pick up this really awesome rifle for $12.99. Now you get it in here with Malice. Right here to compare for you. So again, here's the original out of Weapon Spec November, nice OD green and black. Now we have it in Desert Tan and black. Same exact weapon mold, all right? So you're not missing anything other than the colors, but it's still really nice. We also get our box that carried in, 2-person lift. Showed it to you with Weapon Spec November, but so instead of the designator, we have boom written across the top, a little tongue-in-cheek, and just for comparison, there is the original. All right, same box, same style, same clasp upon there. And when you open it up, again, be careful because this clasp is very tight, and it's not a foam insert, it's just plastic, which means when you open it up, your 3 rounds here will most likely pop out and the carpet monster will devour them. But there's the inside, nice gray, and then our individual rounds here are really nice, this time in black and this really cool metallic red pinkish look here. All right, if I'm going to do this, might as well do it right. Right, so there is what comes with Malice. Here is the original round that came with Weapons Pack November. And I forgot to mention, of course, there is the little top stand that you can kick up here, and it will click into that little tab there. So if you want to have it with the top of the lid open and secured, you can do so. Just like Weapons Spec November, we get our 2 blast effects, we get our front piece, and we have our rocket being propelled out here. And then for the exhaust, you get your exhaust piece. So everything you got with Weapons Spec November, you get with Malice. Next we have his backpack here. This is newly sculpted. I like it. It's got some things that make me puzzle, and I'll talk about that here. But we got some nice sculpted detail across here with all the pouches and pockets, connection in there. It's all black plastic, nice and firm though. We got this built-in frame to hold everything in, because this is probably, you know, carrying 4 of these rounds or whatever they're called, cases, are probably weigh things down, so you got to have that support. So, but speaking of these, so again, there's 4 and they do separate. All right, so you can pull them out of the pack, and there you go. So this is obviously much larger than our round, right, for the Gustaf. So I'm not an expert, so I don't know. You guys can tell me in the comments, is this how you carry these in the field? I'm assuming so. Obviously he's going to be doing that, but you know, is that why they are so much larger? So, or is it just extended to go through the backpack? You guys, again, tell me. But like I said, we can take the top off, and you can see we have this nice big space, and the round kind of goes in. If you force it, you're gonna suck at life. So it does go in there fairly tightly, right? That's all the further I'm going to push it. So there's that. Now, question is, does this top fit into the round or the rifle here? And it does. You have this nice cap going in. So again, I don't know exactly what's behind it. I might ask just so I know for clarity, but if you guys are aware of it, tell me in the comments, what do you think this is? All right, but like I said, there's 4. I'll slide it back in here. It fits nice and snug in the backpack. And then putting it in there, we have that nice long peg in the back that'll fit over or into the body, even with that armor pack on. And there you have him carrying his pack of rounds into the battlefield. And yes, even with that heavy backpack on, he can still stand just fine. Next we have his Kel-Tec KSG shotgun. Again, this is what we saw in, was it the most recent weapons pack? I'm so unprepared, I'm unprofessional, I should know all this stuff. I'll put it in the bottom here to tell you where we first saw this at. We are blast effect compatible, and while we're at it, I forgot to mention we have 3 blast effects. So for this one, we're going to use the big blast effect. We've seen this now since series 4 or 5. I think make sure we're not lying, because it would make sense to have this big blast effect. All right, it's a little tight, but it will fit in there. So now you have your big old shotgun blast going off. You can push it in more, I'm sure, if you want, but I'm not chancing it right now. So there's that. Like I said, we have two thigh holsters, and that is to hold his Desert Eagle. Again, these, we've seen these before. Silver across the top, black here. We got our red dot sight. We are blast effect compatible, so of course we'll get our blast effect in there. Now, what's cool about this is not only do you get a pair of these ready to go, you also get a pair, a pair of Desert Eagles with the slide back as if he has already discharged a round. And again, that blast effect goes in. But we're not done yet, because these guns have a new sculpted feature. These are the first sidearms that have a opening at the bottom for a magazine. And here's where we get a little funny, because we get two of these drum mags that'll fit inside the grip of the Desert Eagle. So now, you know, you can probably modify so it's going fully auto. So you got this big, heavy ass gun with a big barrel, or not barrel, but a drum mag on the bottom, shooting things off. So Isaiah's got to be pretty strong in the arms to do that, I think. But we got 4 of those with the drum mag in. You can still holster your sidearm right in here, just like that. Fits in well. So he can walk into a room rocking all that. We'll put the other one in, and if you don't want the drum mags on, no worries, you can just go like this and have him holding like them. So that's all the weaponry, but we have one more thing to check out, and that is his bucket helmet here. This did cause quite a bit of discussion when he was first announced. Whoops, make this a little brighter. So yeah, this is a different sculpt, to say the least. Definitely harking back to, like, you know, that medieval look. I know we had, you know, the Spartan helmet on Carrick, and then we kind of had the visor, as you can see in the background there, of the Garrison Cavalry. So this is a new piece. And again, we got this painted crimson stripe across the helmet here. We got our 2 eyes, nose protection, definitely face guards down here. So not bad at all. But how do we get it on? Let's do that now. All right, so let's get Isaiah helmeted up and then armed up for our closeout of the accessory portion. So to do this, you're going to have to take off the hairpiece like this. Like I said, the key's in there. Easily done. Now he's rocking the bald hair, and there is no peg system underneath there, so that means this can be used for just about anyone. So let's go ahead and get it on his head, and it just slides on. Make sure we get it all the way on there, like so. And there is Malice wearing his helmet. You can still see his eyes through the eye holes. Okay, so let's get him all armed up. But with all this armament on him, how well does he articulate? Let's get into that real quick. All right, starting from the top. Head, neck, system here. All right, definitely can look around, that helmet on. A lot of motion in the neck. Get his tilts. You can look up that far. You can look down that far. We'll leave the bucket off for now. We like looking at that face. All right, so we know what we got here. We got our butterflies. You can go back that far, up that far. With those pauldrons, they're softer and they can slide underneath there. You can still get your T across. We got our bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. Now these gauntlets, you can manipulate a little bit around here if you want to get more range, but overall, you're going to be a little more limited unless, like I said, you take them off here or move them around. But he is double jointed, pinless elbows. We know that by now. Torso. Obviously with his vest on, you're not going to get that mid-torso ball peg cut. So he is limited in regards to that. We already know we got our horizontals for our cupping hands and our fists, and we got our verticals here for our trigger hands and our item holding hands. We got our drop downs, of course, kick up that far, thigh cut, nice and smooth. You got double jointed knees, can go back that far. We do have a mid calf boot cut here. Does break the sculpt, but I mean, that's the price for it. Toe, get down that far, nice heavy click on that. Not much up, and then kind of a shallow pivot here on the ankle, but overall gets the job done, I think. And here's Malice stripped down, but as you can see, he's got this body we've gotten now with most of the other army builders and stuff. So just so you can see, he can, through the double ball peg system, go back that far. Forward, he can crouch that far. Side to side a little bit here. So question also is he Series 6 compatible, meaning that these arms can come off? Well, let's see. A little bit of effort, but yep, he's Series 6 compatible, so that means you can take off his arms and swap them out. If you want to give him like a robot arm or something like that from one of your Praetorians, you can do so. So let's get that back on. The other cool question, can he wear other helmets besides his bucket? Let's go through that now. All right, so let's start with the easiest and the one that I think people want to look at the most, and that is going to be putting on this Garrison Cavalry helmet. Now, this is the first version of the ACH, and this specific one is from my reissue of the Garrison Cavalry. So let's go ahead and take the hair off, and let's slap this helmet on. All right, so there is that. It sits a little touch high, but again, this is a new head with an older helmet. But if we pull this down, yeah, you can still see his eyes, looking real good. This is the balaclava masthead, which you can put on him if you wish, which also means we're going to test the other thing here, which is the gas mask helmeted head. And again, that fits on there really well, looks nice. And here's your yearbook shot for all those that want to see everything that's come out from the Garrison to this point. We have our Garrison Cavalry, the first release, and the reissue. Second to Blowback, this is like the coolest looking figure in the Valorverse line, in my humble opinion. Then we have our Bone Collectors, we have our SDS version, then we have Bone Collector 2.0, which was the DFW 24, I want to say. Then we got Carrick, and then the other Series 6 wave mate, Lieutenant Hune. So final impressions of the Valorverse DFW exclusive, now part of Series 6, Malice. Do I like him? Absolutely. I think he's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of craziness going on with the Garrison, and this guy is no exception. We were saying the same thing about Bone Collector 2.0 and his crazy ram head mask and such. He's rocking the heavy armament. He's definitely going to be up there in the front lines with the Garrison, pushing back against the Swarm, Crimson Shadow, and the Action Force team. Now, you can get this guy and order him now from Valorverse.com, or he's also available for pre-order at the time of this recording at BBTS. So go ahead, get this guy, get him in your collection. Didn't mention it till now, but there is a variant of Malice. I don't know if it's 1 of 100 or if there's more than that. I don't know. This is my first shipment. I got another shipment or two coming in, I think tomorrow or the day after. So fingers crossed I'll get that variant. If I do, I will definitely let you know on my socials, which is going to be on Instagram, Facebook, various Facebook groups, as well as in the community posts of this channel. So if you are not subscribed and you want to see more stuff from Valorverse and other action figure lines, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, hype this video. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching at this point. I hope you have a great rest of your day and weekend, if that is the time you're watching this. And as always, enjoy your collection. I'll talk to you later. Bye.